All right, let's give you the answer to what item you can bid on to be with Howie Roseman, part of the Eagles Radiothon. And it is lunch with two-time Super Bowl general manager Howie Roseman and a tour of the NovaCare Complex. So, tour of the NovaCare Complex, that's like the little add-on. That's like the dessert. But you get to hang with Howie, have obviously what'll be a great lunch, and talk to him about the football season and his career and the twists and turns through all these years of Eagles football. So much to talk to Howie about if you bid for that, which currently is at $4,000 at EaglesRadiothon.com. And our chance right now to talk to the two-time Super Bowl winning general manager of the Eagles, Howie Roseman. Howie, good morning to you.
Good morning. You know, Bob Lang, our crack PR guy, just told me that we're at 7,200.
Oh.
And I think last year we went for $30,000. I mean, we just won the Super Bowl. We got to get more for EAC going on here. And you know what? Just to get it going a little bit, you know, because I got someone to report to, Ryan Hammond, who is unbelievable energy. She does an unbelievable job for EAC. I'm going to add in 2 tickets here to a home game against Giants or Washington. You know, we're pretty close to Dallas, so I can't do that. So 2 tickets.
Wow.
There, and if we can get it back to a level consistent with what we had last year, also an opportunity to come to training camp next summer.
Oh, man.
Really, like, I'm competitive here right now. I'm a little disappointed. First of all, I'm disappointed that you gave the wrong number. I mean, fact check.
Yeah, bad job by me.
Fake news right there. And then, you know, we last year we were coming off a playoff loss. We got it at that level. I mean, we're world champs again, you know? Come on. We got to get going here, Philadelphia.
You're not wrong. By the way, Howie, let me say, it's the first time talking to you since then. Congratulations on the World Championship. I know to a large extent you guys have turned the page, but we would be absurdly remiss if we didn't say congrats. So, you know.
The only way I'll talk about it is if it gets us more money for EAC.
Fair enough.
Otherwise, we've turned the page.
Fair enough. All right, so $7,200 for this item, which is to lunch with Howie, tour of the NovaCare, 2 tickets to either a Giants or Washington.
No. The 2 tickets aren't at the $7,200 level. The 2 tickets have to be and the next year training camp if we get consistent with what we've had in the past for this item.
I like that. He's setting a goal here.
We're not having someone come in at 7,300
to
take this level. You know, that's not right. That won't be right to the people. The 4 people last year who paid $30,000 apiece.
Wow. All right, fair enough.
People.
So you've put the gauntlet down, and it is understood. Okay. Howie, let's talk some football.
Let's do it.
7 years ago, the team was average-ish for good portions of the regular season after winning the title. It was complicated. Carson, the injury, the whole deal, a lot of other injuries. But were there lessons that you felt the organization learned that you can apply to this year?
Well, the best part, the most exciting part of my job besides the games, and we're a week away from our game next Thursday night. Can't wait for that, and home opener against Dallas. But I think that if you're not continuing to learn and get better, you know, and I feel like, man, every day I learn something, I get better. And so if you're not looking at the lessons from 2018, you're really doing a disservice, you know, to this football team, you know, our fans, our ownership, you know, our players. So, you know, for me, there are a lot of lessons to learn. And when you win the first championship in the history of this team, you go, man, I owe that guy something. And so I kind of changed, you know, a little bit of my philosophy after this year in the off season. And it was, how can we give ourselves a chance, not just this year, but going forward? And that doesn't mean we're not going to put our best foot forward this year to do whatever it takes, but we can also balance that with giving ourselves a chance in this window where we have a ton of core guys that are in the prime of their careers. That's not just this year or bust, and to balance both those things. And it's hard. It's hard to do it, but we're going to continue to try to do that.
How does it feel, Howie, starting the season as the standard that others try to emulate?
You know, I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about that. I think about the standard that we're trying to raise our level to. Internally, we understand that for us to be the best at the end of the year, all of us have to have our best year. You know, that starts with me, Nick, and it really is throughout the organization. And, you know, I think one of the things that is really important to us is that obviously we have great people on the field, but also the great people off the field helping those players, you know, helping the players develop, helping them get better at skill set, helping them make sure that they don't have to worry about a lot of things, off the field, that we're going to support them and help them grow, as athletes and people. And I don't just say that. I really mean that, and I think that that's really our goal, that every day we're doing whatever's possible to be the best we can be. And that where we are today, we're going to continue to grow and hopefully be playing our best football in December and January, like we did last year, which was a great example because, John, you know this, it's going to be a situation, we're going to have adversity. We're going to have adversity during the course of this year. Something's going to happen over a couple-week period that's not going to look too good. And, how are we going to rebound from that? How are we going to rally around that and move forward in a way that lets us play our best at the right time?
Jalen,
I wouldn't mind playing our best week one and keep going the whole season. And
that would
be
spectacular.
But, the odds are that that's probably not going to be the reality.
We're excited about Kevin Patullo and his relationship with Jalen. How well have they meshed as offensive coordinator and quarterback, and how does it compare to last year at this time with Jalen and Kellen Moore, that Super Bowl winning combination?
Well, I'd say you hit it right on the head. Obviously, Kevin and Jalen have known each other really since Kevin's been here and had a relationship, which is really important. I don't want to diminish the job that Kellen did as our offense coordinator, won a world championship with him as our offense coordinator. But Kevin's really been prepared for this. He is a heck of a coach. He's got great energy. I'm just excited for his opportunity. He's earned it. That's one of the other things I've stopped saying. I used to say deserved it. Now I'm saying earn it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. The guy from the
Nobody
paper.
deserves anything.
Well, you remember, Howie, you're old enough to remember the guy from the paper chase guy used to say that.
Do you know what that's from?
The paper chase guy.
I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong because someone go look at this.
John Houseman or whatever. You earned
I think it's from Home Alone. When he's in the house alone and they're watching that black and white movie, and the guy starts shooting, and he goes, "Deserves ain't got anything to do with it."
You're right. I was right about that. Yeah.
All right, I like it.
Right.
I like it a lot. Howie, interesting. We found out that you were part of along with Nick, the telling to Darius Cooper that he had made the team. Obviously, he was a long shot, and he made it. How special was it for you to be part of that and observe his reaction to being told that he had made the NFL, he had made the Philadelphia Eagles team?
I got breaking news. Bob Lang just gave me an update. Deserves got nothing to do with it. I was using it from Home Alone. It's from Unforgiven, which is one of my favorite movies too. I just forgot about it. Breaking news. Bob Lang.
So that would be Clint, and and maybe he said it to Bill
Gene
or
Hackman,
Gene Hackman.
Great movie.
He probably said it all awesome.
Anyway, sorry about that.
So Darius Cooper, he
was trying to distract me. He was trying to distract me, but I'm easily distracted, I guess. So I think when you're talking about Monday and Tuesday, you're really starting the season by letting go 37 guys that you bring in here because you like them as players, you like them as people, and then you got to basically tell them bad news. And from my perspective, from Nick's perspective, that's the worst part of the job. And so we were doing this one after another. It gets emotional. It really just it's not a great day for us. And I turned to Nick and I said, let's give someone good news, for a change. And I know he was waiting for that news, and so we brought him in, and Tarleton State guy who probably had no idea why I was calling him in. I'm not even sure he knew that there was a possibility he was going to get cut by the time I brought him in. And we just asked him, "Hey, you know why you're in here?" And he's like, "Just to talk to you two guys." But just first of all, he's sitting in my office, and you look at him, and sometimes because you see him, he's in pads, you see him at practice, and this guy's lower body, man. I mean, it is so strong and so powerful, and you just look and go, man, what can this guy do if we really develop him and the skill set? And so he's sitting there, and that's what I'm thinking, like a psychopath. I'm thinking about, what this guy can be in 2 years if we develop him. But just seeing how grateful he was about the opportunity in front of him. And that's what it is, again, like nobody's on scholarship here. And we tell our young players that they got to keep earning it throughout the course of the season, that there'll be opportunities for us to keep evaluating guys and see if there's a way to get better, because that's really the job here. We got to keep looking for ways to get better. That job doesn't end just because we did cuts, and we're going to do that. We're going to do that every day. Every night I go to bed thinking about it. Every morning I wake up thinking about it. Can we improve?
You must be really proud of that personnel success. I mean, diamond in the rough and Darius Cooper. Howie, a lot of people are.
He's got to go. He's got to go play well in real games now.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
Nothing has been proven yet.
Many are worried about the risk reward of putting Cooper DeJean back to return punts. Could you talk about that decision making process, the risk and reward to figuring out the best man to sit back there?
Yeah, I mean, we've had this before in Philadelphia when Deshaun was here, and I think that we'll just kind of see what happens here when we open up next week. When you talk about Coop, I say this, and now I'm biased. I'm biased to all our guys because I love our guys, but I think he may be one of the top 3 punt returners in the history of college football. Jeez. And then you saw what he could do. Yeah, I know, power statement. But then you saw what he could do last year in that role. I mean, what a difference he can make in that. Mm-hmm. But by the same token, we have other guys too, who can do that, and we think can do it at a high level. And so, we'll just keep everyone guessing here. We don't want to give any advantage to the team that's coming into play next week.
Yeah, it makes sense. Nick is certainly of that mindset as well. All right, Howie, a couple final things here. Howie Roseman, Joe and Hugh coming up in about 5 minutes. Howie, you're 50 years old. There are times in people's lives where sometimes...
Whoa. Why?
Because we're going to talk about Theo Epstein. Mm-hmm. There are times in people's lives they've accomplished a lot and they're interested in a new challenge. Do you think about that at times, or do you think you're going to hitch your wagon and continue to do this as you could with your age for another 15 to 20 years?
Theo's my friend. He's my buddy. What a great guy. And you know what? Here's a little secret. His sons love the Eagles. But I would say this. Unfortunately for all of you guys, I love what I do more today than I did yesterday. I have a tremendous passion for it. I think I'm more competitive than I've ever been. So, obviously, that's not my decision whether I stay here or not, but I will tell you, I can't imagine doing anything other than trying to build football teams and doing it with people I care about. So that's not even close to my thought process. Again, we haven't lost a game, so maybe catch me on a Monday afternoon.
No, that's music to a lot of people's ears. Nick, I've got 2 complaints about the Super Bowl. Well, excuse me, Howie, I got 2 complaints about the Super Bowl victories. And it's only in Philadelphia because you have complaints about a Super Bowl victory. But I'm going to give you 2, both Super Bowls. Number 1, the head coach should be lifted up and carried to midfield. So if you guys win it again, please tell the big lineman to carry Nick to midfield. Doug should have had that honor. Nick should have.
I have the vision when I was a kid of watching the Bears lift up Mike Dick.
Correct. So, okay.
And Parcells.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think the last guy was Holmgren in '96, I think, and it's a great tradition that should still be going on. Number 2.
I think Coach Reed helped with Holmgren.
Yeah. Right. All right, number 2. And Howie, this ties directly into you. And I've been complaining about this for 8 years. The general manager should be interviewed as part of the on-field ceremony after you win the Super Bowl. And if you guys do it again this upcoming season, I hope for the first time in your career you get that honor. To go from owner to coach to MVP is great, but it's not enough. GM should be in there. You built the team. You should get that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Unfortunately for me, they decided instead to have me speak at the Rocky Steps at the Art Museum, and I'll forever have a hole in my head with all the pictures from that moment. So, my request the next time would be, let's not throw beers at our players and staff. Please. Let's drink them.
Good point.
Drink them, a lot of them. Please don't throw them at
Good
me.
stuff. Hey, Howie.
I appreciate you guys.
For sure. Reminder to everyone listening, $7,200 for Howie, the bid right now to have lunch with him